I'm Luke Krumich. This is the We Ball Podcast, and on today's episode, we have Shepherd and NFL QB Tyson Bagent on the show. Tyler and I are so excited for everybody to see this episode. We ask him about the Senior Bowl, his regimen before the Combine, what the Combine means to him, one thing he wants every fan to know about him, and what quarterback would be his mentor if he could choose any quarterback in NFL history. Thanks for listening, and we ball. Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the We Ball Podcast. I'm Luke Krumich. With me is Tyler DeSena as always, and joining us today is Shepherd and future NFL quarterback Tyson Bagent. Tyson, how are we doing, my man?
I'm doing great, man. This is a super special time, and I appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Yeah, of course. We got the chance to speak to you down in Mobile, and we're like, this guy's great, so might as well try and get him on the show. It worked out that way. We got to speak to Greg, who's awesome. Shout out Greg for helping us out with this. But yeah, man, we're gonna kind of get right into it.
Sounds good. Yeah, Greg's the man. He had a lot of positive things to say about y'all, so which just made me more and more excited to get on with y'all. Make sure I could fit y'all into the crazy schedule I got going on.
For sure.
All right,
sure.
perfect.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hop right into Senior Bowl stuff. Tyler, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, obviously, we were down there in Mobile, and I think for us, it was a lot about, getting to practice, watching practice, and also making connections, which I imagine is something that, as a player being there, you're doing yourself. So was there like, I don't know, a certain guy that like maybe you went up against in practice or somebody that you were, throwing to as a receiver that you got to like, make some sort of like friendly connection with that you didn't necessarily think you would?
I would say that, I definitely had a lot of fun being around all the quarterbacks that were on my team. I didn't really get to hang out with the quarterbacks on the national team, but the guys that we had on the American team, Max, Clayton, they were cool guys. And then receiver wise, Andre, I don't know how to say his last name, receiver from Princeton.
Neither do we.
Yeah, so we kind of hit it off. We hit it off. We had some award dinner or whatever, and we kind of hit it off there. And he just seemed like a guy that I could easily see myself hanging out with outside of football. So if there was one connection or a significant connection made, I would say shout out to my guy Andre. Got linked together on Instagram. So yeah, he was a cool dude. But overall, there were no crappy people there. I thought everybody just was super motivated, super focused, and just kind of ready to attack each and every day. And I thought they obviously did a really good job of making sure that we had stuff to do throughout every minute of every day.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see that connection with Andre on the field. There were a few throws that you had better placement to Andre than you really did with anybody else, and I was like, okay, like this is something I'm keeping an eye on. Especially that one out route where he went up and grabbed that thing. He climbed the ladder. That was incredible versus Tyreek Stevenson. But the experience in Mobile, obviously, it's a lot about the on-field product for a guy like you. Since you came from a lower level competition, how was it getting to prove yourself against SEC, ACC, Big 12 competition?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, really, my whole goal was to kind of prove to everybody what I kind of already figured that I had a good idea about, which was just my game and what I'm capable of, and that there's no difference between me and anybody else in this draft class. And, going forward, there's really no difference between me and any other quarterback that, I'm going to be around. I know that people are going to continue to put a focal point on where I'm coming from with being a small school quarterback. But the way I see it, I went to the Senior Bowl. I played in the game. And I just you can't, based on how things went in the game, they're just gonna have a tougher time saying that the level of competition is too much, and that I'm in over my head or whatever they may be saying. So just continuing to try to get better, get acclimated to obviously the play calling and the pro style offense more than getting used to playing with the speed that is quote unquote too much, for me to handle. So that was kind of just continuing this process, continue to do just what I'm supposed to do and just try to take in all the coaching and put my best foot forward.
Definitely. And another like question for Mobile, obviously that's a very, fast paced week for you. A lot of, you're getting down there, you're measuring in, you're practicing. How is it like, getting that playbook? Like, is it something that's like pretty full, like a full playbook, or is it like something more condensed for, considering you're only going to be there for about a week?
Yeah, I think it's a great mixture of both. It's not easy, but it's not the end of the world either. They know they can't install a full playbook in 3 practices in a game, nor would that be a good idea considering the fact that you want to see guys' you want to see their ability. So if they're thinking too much, they're not playing as fast as scouts would, appreciate and like for them to play. So they give us just enough. They put just enough on the quarterbacks, I feel like, to test the IQ, to test the knowledge. And then for, most of the other positions, it's all right, this is what we're doing. This is where you're going. Let's play fast. Let's be physical, and then go on it about that. But I say that, it was just for the quarterbacks. They definitely gave us a good chunk of stuff to learn and to be able to spit out to the offense in the huddle, especially being able to have command in the huddle. But I'd say it was just enough for you to be able to get it and then continue to play fast and efficient.
Definitely.
So one thing that we did see on the sidelines of the Senior Bowl, getting away from, the whole week, was your dad getting the chance to arm wrestle Tom Pelissero. We got a chance to talk to your dad. How was it seeing him? Like, you're over here having the moment of your life, trying to impress all these important people, and your dad's just cutting promos and arm wrestling on NFL Network. Is that something that, like, he's always been that way, or is he like, is he a showman on the camera?
Yeah, nah, he's always that way. He's always high energy, funny guy, and he's definitely been the greatest at what he did with the whole arm wrestling aspect of the world, and he's been around the camera for a long time, so he kind of has a really good idea of what to say, what not to say, what people are going to like, what people are not going to like. So the fact that he kind of killed it with that little skit, I wasn't surprised, and it was something that the family was able to laugh about and joke about after the Senior Bowl.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I think that something we both were thinking about, because we did talk to your dad for a brief period. We did see that, you had a lot of Shepherd, people there. What was it like, bringing a lot of guys either like, from the hometown to come see you, like, play on a stage where you didn't necessarily have the opportunity? We said different level of competition in in college. What is it like, now being able to bring a lot of those people to, an area where you're eventually going to be drafted?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, extremely, first and foremost, just really blessed and grateful to be able to have played in my hometown, to be able to have played good enough at a small school to get noticed on the platform that I'm getting noticed on. And then just continuing to be that inspiration, for the people all around me, being the first guy from my university to get invited to the Senior Bowl, to be, one of the only dudes ever invited to the combine. To then, being, the only dude to win the Harlan Hill at my school, just being that small school figure and be able to give dudes that are at small schools hope for what they can accomplish in the years to come. That's all been amazing. And I have the greatest support system, with me, just kind of having their hands on me through, along the way. And, I wouldn't be able to, I really wouldn't be pushing myself as hard if I didn't have those people in my life. So, it was amazing. My coaching staff showed a lot of love, family, friends, everybody came and supported me throughout. And then it overall just made the experience that much better, just because I got to experience it with so many more people.
Of course. And yeah, I think we definitely saw that, especially when me and Luke were in Mobile, like we said, talked to your dad. We saw he like pointed out a bunch of the people that you came in with, like on the opposite sideline. And it was like great to see, because you think of like, everybody's out here on this opposite side and they're all media and they're all looking at these players and they're like, this guy made a bad decision, this guy made a good throw, whatever. And then, you see them like as people, like this is who they've come in with, this is their family. And it's like, it's great to see like, that you've got a support system like that and who you were able to come in with. So it means a lot to be able to see it.
Yeah, no doubt. And it was very, very special. And, we all had a lot of fun. And like you said, people are just critiquing the athletic, ability there in practice and in the game. But, it's different whenever you can kind of take a little deeper dive and see, who people are doing it for, who's there to, show them love and kind of get an idea where they come from.
So we kind of talked about it. Jim Nagy came to Shepherd to give you your Senior Bowl invite.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that was probably a very big moment for you, but obviously, you're allowing your team to see you get that invite. How do you think that affected them going forward with the rest of the season? Because you guys still had, I believe, a playoff game left, or you were starting the playoffs when that happened, if I'm
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
So how was that? Do you
Yeah.
think it affected the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think it was just, another one of those things where it's like, a guy at Shepherd University might not have the same amount of faith or hope as a guy from the University of Michigan or Michigan State or Alabama, or the same hope and faith that they have, with making it to the professional level, or making it to the Senior Bowl. We'll just talk about the Senior Bowl because I haven't got picked up yet. I haven't got drafted. It's still, everything is still to come in that sense. So just with the Senior Bowl, just giving dudes hope, just showing them that the end of the road is not just Shepherd and then going to find a 9-to-5 job. You can put in your work at Shepherd, do what you're supposed to do, really just, be all in with this. And there's really no limit to how far, you can go. You can go play in the Senior Bowl against dudes from Alabama. You can go throw passes in the game to dudes from Alabama, Ole Miss, Miami, all those. You can throw to all those kinds of receivers. You can be protected by the University of Florida Gators and the University of Minnesota. You can play in the same game and only fit in, but excel in that game as well. So it's just like there is no limit, and I think that's kind of the message that was sent by Jim, coming and delivering that invite.
Awesome. We're gonna switch up a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the combine. I know you're preparing for it. All of the decisions with what you're going to be doing, we don't got to talk about that. You can focus on that. But how is the workout regimen going into the combine? Like, what are you doing to prepare yourself?
Yeah, so I'm at X3 in Fort Myers. We are about 2 weeks out from me going to Indy. So we're just kind of continuing the work, but kind of just finalizing everything, getting the form down, just really getting everything dialed in to be able to go there and crush this thing as athletic as possible. Because, that's the goal. That's the whole point of the combine. Obviously you're going to meet with a lot of people, but first and foremost, they want to make sure that, you have what it takes athletically to be able to be on the field with some of the greatest athletes in the world. So it's been good. It's a Monday through Saturday gig. Mondays, Thursdays, linear speed work. Tuesday, Friday, lateral. So we're talking about shuttle and L drill. Saturday is kind of just whatever you feel like you need to work on the most. You kind of spend some time on that. Wednesday, today is just kind of like a light lift, and then a lot of quarterback work, in the afternoon, whether that be on the board or on the field, making throws, kind of making the throws, getting the hang of, getting in a rhythm of all the throws you're going to make at the combine. So I feel really good. I feel really confident going in there, and I'm ready to surprise a lot of the people with, my performance at the combine.
Definitely. And I think that we see the combine as like this experience that like isn't like anything else you're going to be doing throughout the draft process. Just came from Mobile. That's very much it's not as much of a how are you testing thing. It's more of a how are you, performing in these practices leading up to this game, meeting with different people. And then the combine, I think we see is now a lot of, physical drills, board work, a lot of different stuff that, teams didn't necessarily get to see from you. Maybe there were different guys who weren't, at the Senior Bowl, who obviously will be at the combine because that's like the main event. And we know that around bowl time, there's like all these different things going on. So it's going to be very concentrated. So how do you think, your prep for Mobile, differs? You said like with the linear speed work, all the different things that you're doing. Do you think that it is more of a, do you think that it's more of a grind getting into like that like rhythm for this event?
Yeah, I would say that. I think that if I had it all on a pyramid, I think the Senior Bowl would have been at the top, just because you're getting to see how dudes play football. Like you're getting to see screw the numbers, screw where you came from, all this stuff. We get you on this field and we give you a play, and we just see you go out there and play football. And then I think a lot, having success at a Senior Bowl, I think is more important to a lot of people than having success at a combine. However, the combine is still the combine. You definitely want to go out there and put the best numbers up you can, be able to, be as fluent as you can and as accurate you can be with throws. But I'd say I don't really think there is anything that can prepare you for the Senior Bowl. I think just all the work that you do in college has to, accumulate into your overall just baseline knowledge, and then you just got to roll with that. I think all the training that's done, pre-draft training, is geared more towards the combine. So the Senior Bowl, I think just being able to get a baseline, make sure you're not behind the 8 ball athletically or mentally. And then I think, the combine is just more so a Senior Bowl. A lot of questions are like, who's your family? Who'd you grow up with? What's your favorite color? Like, kind of just getting to know you. I think I'm excited to take that deeper dive of, draw me something up for third medium, or it's 3rd and goal, you're going to need a touchdown, or we got to get in field goal range. What are you going to do right here? Like, just really diving into those questions that I'm really, excited for and kind of been preparing for. And then once again, just being able to take all the training I've done pre-draft athletic wise and be able to put it out there, for the world to see. So I think it's easier with what I'm going through right now to be able to be ready for this combine than it would have than anything I could have done to prepare for the Senior Bowl. I think the Senior Bowl is just on its own in its own little world.
So if you obviously a lot of more fans will pay attention to the combine than the Senior Bowl. They don't know what they're missing, first of all. But if you could show, the average NFL fan one thing about Tyson Bagent going into the combine, what would that be?
Like, what could I show them with the combine, or what could I just want them to know before the combine?
Before the combine.
I would just, I think I'm one of the best. I think I'm one of the best quarterbacks in this draft. I think that I check all the boxes. I think I check all the boxes. And if there's a box that's unchecked, I'm fighting every single day in order to be able to check that box. And I know it's a lot more it's going to be a lot more mental than physical as a quarterback in the NFL. That's just how it is. They put a lot on your plate mentally. So being able to handle that, being able to spit out the verbiage, be able to play fast, be able to be efficient, command the huddle, be able to have control under center, even though you haven't done it maybe as much in college. Just all the little things, I think is just, what I would want people to know, that I'm all in with this. This is all I want to do. This is all I've been fighting for. Is bigger to me. It's not just for me. It's for my family, my community, for my life as a whole, just the mark I want to leave on the world. And this is, I'm not really into anything. So you don't have to worry about anything off the field. This is all I want to do. If I'm not playing football, if I'm not doing something that's preparing me in some type of way for football, then all I'm doing is hanging out with my family and my friends. And no outside baggage. I'm all in, and I'm only a resource to help whatever team I get on win. So that's kind of just what my goal is going forward.
Definitely. I think we saw, like, at, in Mobile, now that we're talking to you now, that the goal always has and always will be, from what we've heard from you, is, just play football, go out there and, go play. And I think that's something that we've seen, that you hang your hat on, like that competitiveness, that drive to just go play the sport. And I think that we've all, enjoyed seeing, where you've come from, where you are now. So is there any other, like, specific, trait that you have that you would say, besides your drive just for, just in the sport, like that work ethic? Do you think that there's something else, if you were like, this is the one aspect of my game that I think, like, maybe raises me above certain people? Is there anything else that you would say?
Yeah, I would say just my overall experience. Like, I think that I've been a starting quarterback for a lot longer than any other quarterback in this draft. I was a 3-year starter in high school and a 5-year starter in college, counting that COVID year. And just a lot of live football I've been exposed to. I've been exposed to every situation, every type of coverage, every type of pass concept. Protection wise, I've had 3 different offensive coordinators that have all kind of inserted their own little critiques within the offense. So I think I just have a lot of just game speed, experience that nobody else in this draft class has. So that's what I will go with.
All right. One last question. If you could learn from any quarterback in history, who would you choose to be your mentor throughout your career? Any quarterback in history?
Ooh. I would have to go Peyton Manning. I think he's he ran the league for a long time, And I think just overall, just his approach was a little bit just different than other people. He like that whole mental aspect of, you know, the whole Omaha, like him just checking out of, you know, almost every doggone play to, you know, not get in a perfect play, but just to get out of a bad play. So I think just that overall knowledge that I think he could, you know, help instill in me, I think would help me the most going forward.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining us. To everybody listening, thank you so much for listening. Remember, if you like, subscribe, and comment on this video, you'll be entered into the running for an Aaron Donald signed Senior Bowl rookie card. So make sure you get that in. The drawing will be next week on that episode. But Tyson, thank you for joining us. Good luck at the combine. Good luck at the draft. We will definitely be keeping up with you, and we hope everybody listening will be too. Thank you, and we ball.